Hermes's argument for only making the Furby in two different sizes is in case some customers want to put other things inside of their bags other than the Furby, they don't want these to take up the entire space. But isn't that the whole point of having an organizer in your bag? Hi guys, my name is G.P.S. and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is sort of a follow-up to the last video that I uploaded, which ended up being a 45 minutes long dissertation on bag inserts. So if there's ever been anything that you wanted to find out about bag inserts, I would highly recommend that you go ahead and watch that, which I will make sure to link up here as well as in the info box. But in that video, I showed you guys my Hermes Fourbi, which was the brand's original take on bag organizers that are supposed to help protect your bags and keep your bags tidy, which are not necessarily my favorites, but some of you guys still wanted to see what exactly you can squeeze in here. So today we'll be talking about everything that you can pack into the Hermes Fourbi. So if that sounds interesting to you, then please keep on watching. So here we go. This is the Furby Bag Insert up close. And if you guys watched my previous bag insert video, then you know that I mentioned that the Furby comes in two different sizes. This is in size 20, which is the smaller version. And then it's also available in size 25. And this was Hermes's kind of take on bag inserts slash bag organizers. This is much more of a bag organizer rather than a true insert. I feel that inserts tend to be a little bit more custom made and custom tailored to fit specifically into a bag. Whereas this one just really mainly serves the function of keeping your bags tidy and making sure that it's easy for you to switch up your bags, because you can essentially try to put as many things in here as you want, and all you need to do when you want to switch out your bags is take this out of the bag and put it into another. As long as it fits into another bag, you should be perfectly fine to go. So as I mentioned, it's available in two different sizes, 20 and 25. And you would think, the name suggests, that this would fit perfectly into a Kelly 20, which is the mini Kelly, and then the 25 would be the perfect fit for a Birkin or a Kelly 25. Well, they're not. I brought out my mini Kelly to show you guys, and as you can see, they are actually pretty much at the same size. Actually, the Furby is a little bit larger. So the name actually comes from the fact that the Furby measures 20 centimeters, just like the mini Kelly. So there is no way that you could use this in a mini Kelly. It's actually much better to store your mini Kelly inside of it. So while I was actually playing around with this, because I've never actually used this in a mini Kelly, I thought it might actually be a good kind of protector when you're traveling with your mini Kelly, in case you want to put a mini Kelly inside of another bag. Perhaps you could use this to put something in between your mini Kelly and another bag that you're going to transport it in. But I have an entire video on traveling with bags, so I'll make sure to link it up here. So yeah, I thought it might be a good protector for your mini Kelly, but it's definitely not going to work inside of a Kelly 22, and I don't think it would work in the original Kelly 20 either. I think that this would be best for perhaps a Kelly 25 or a Birkin 25. I don't own those sizes in my collection. I'm just not personally a big fan of size 25 on myself. But if you do, perhaps you can have a look at these in store, and maybe you could, if you have a larger bag, you could go a size down in these. So if you have a Birkin or Kelly 25, you could go for a Furby 20, or if you have a Birkin 30 or maybe a Kelly 32 or a Kelly 28, perhaps you could give the Furby 25 a try. I don't see why you would, because there are so many much better alternatives out there, especially for the price. But in case you love Hermes and you don't like mix and matching your brand, which I know many of you out there don't want to do, then that would be my suggestion. Perhaps try the 20 in a size 25 bag, and then try the 25 Furby in a size 28 or 30 or 32 bag. So let's quickly touch on materials, which we talked about in my previous video. But the Furby originally launched in, if I remember correctly, 2011 or 2012. That's when these first started appearing in Hermes's collections. And the original one is this one, which came in the Hermes Toile canvas, which is essentially the exact same material as the Hermes dust bags. So if you love this, you can easily just use a dust bag instead inside of your bag. I brought out a couple of dust bags, and if you love the design, if you love the style, but you don't want to spend the money, then perhaps you can collect a couple of dust bags from Hermes and ask your seamstress to sew this for you. I highly doubt it would be that complicated because this seems like a very simple structure. If you guys would want me to ask my seamstress, who I trust and have been working with for years now, I could maybe see if she could make one of these for me so you guys have a sample. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. I don't think I'm going to see her for a couple of months, but whenever I do, I can definitely ask her and see what her thoughts would be. But yeah, if you have a couple of dust bags and you love the structure, you can easily just use a couple of dust bags as your raw material and then have someone make this up for you. Or honestly, because these already have the drawstrings, you can actually just put a couple of these inside of your bag and not even have any kind of stitching or not even change anything about these. You can just use these inside of your bags and they would do something very similar to this. So I thought that I would mention that, and you guys can see how close they are, even in the way they are woven and everything. It's just, I think it's pretty much identical. So this is the original canvas version, which features the little pieces of Bavarian leather, which is one of the Hermes heritage leathers, and this is mainly used, or this was mainly used for saddles, and that's what Hermes features here, which, you know, you get a piece of leather. I mean, it still doesn't justify the price because this one costs $540 and then the larger one is around $680. But this is the canvas one, which comes in two different sizes. And then every once in a while, Hermes also launches this in a silk version. Whenever they launch it, it usually comes in a seasonal silk print. So if you like it in silk, you can pick it up in seasonal limited edition silk prints, which tend to be a little bit more expensive than the original version. Now, as I mentioned in my original video, it does feature a drawstring closure here, which I usually have tucked in here on the sides, just so it doesn't stick out from my bag. But you can actually use this to make it smaller or make it bigger. Honestly, the dust bags have the exact same drawstring closure, so I wouldn't really call this a standout feature. And then on the 20 version, it's just essentially a huge pocket. There isn't anything else inside. On the 25 version, you do get a zipper compartment on the back. And then on the front with this, you get two pockets on the front that have the clou-de-sel snap closure. And then you get another one in the back, which I will show you exactly what I use these for. And I think it's the exact same setup on the 25 version, other than the fact that obviously that one has a zip closure in the back. And then you have two little pockets on the side here that you can slip things into. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see everything that we can fit in here. Also, one thing I wanted to point out, which I didn't mention in my original video, is that Hermes' argument for only making this in two sizes and not having one for, I guess, the Mini Kelly or a Birkin 35 or a Birkin 40, etc., is they say that they wanted to make it in more conservative sizes in case you want to put something else inside of your bag. So they didn't want these to take up the entirety of your bags. They wanted to leave some room for maybe an umbrella or maybe a computer, etc., which I'm not buying. I think it's just kind of a lazy argument to come up with. The whole point of having a bag organizer and a bag insert inside of your bags is one, so you can put everything in one place. Nothing goes missing, you don't lose anything, and if you want to go from one bag into another, you can just take this and not take this and a million other items that are floating around your bag. Number two is if you want to protect the inside of your bags, things like an umbrella or things like keys or computers that have sharper edges are exactly what you do not want in contact with the interior of your bags. So I definitely do not think that that's a great argument, and it would justify them only making this in a few sizes. I think it's something that Hermes came up with when they realized that, oops, we might have made a mistake or we didn't brand these properly. But anyway, I wanted to mention that, so let's go ahead and see what we can fit in here. So I usually start with the biggest items, and the biggest thing that would fit in here is a Kelly wallet. I have not really been carrying a Kelly wallet. I've mainly been using my Kelly pocket, which I actually have right here. So I've mainly been using the Kelly pocket, but I wanted to show you guys a bigger item. So you can either fit a Kelly wallet in there, or obviously the Kelly pocket is smaller, so that would just slide in there. Actually, let's keep it in there in case you're someone who likes to carry perhaps a coin pouch and then a wallet as well. I personally wouldn't carry both, but in case you want to, you can definitely do that. The next thing I always have in my bags is my BOLIDE pouch. Now this is a pouch that comes in a million different sizes. Okay, not a million, maybe 4. But it comes in a few different sizes. I have a couple of videos on these, which I'll make sure to link up here. I always have these with me. I usually keep band-aids and things that you always need with you. Band-aids, headphones, charging cables, etc. So I'll make sure to link a video where I talk about these. So I would put this in here like this. And then if you want to carry a card holder or maybe a coin purse with you, then you can do that there. Or maybe let's do it like this. If you find that having a card holder in there is a little bit of an overkill, which personally I would, then I would just put a Bastia coin purse in there, which as you guys can see slides in there perfectly, and that makes sure that this is not overstuffed. But I mean, I guess you could fit another card holder in there. I don't see why you'd want to, but you can. Or if you have a Louis Vuitton pochette accessoire, you can do the same thing, but this is how I would carry this. So I just put my Bastia in there. The next thing that I would put inside of my bag is my AirPods that have this little silicone case, which goes on top perfectly. And then let's move on to the pockets. Now I would use the pocket on the front to store my phone. So I would just take my phone and slide it in there. And it goes in there perfectly. And as you guys can see, it's still not overstuffed. So there's still a little bit of space that we can take advantage of. The next thing that I obviously have been carrying with me is face masks, and I have this little pouch bag that I use to store my face masks every time I wash them, or if I have just single-use ones, I put them in here. All of my face masks are being washed, so this is empty right now, but that's something else that I would put on top of my bag, my face masks, or my face mask holder. And then on the front, I usually just put a hand sanitizer in there. So I usually just open this, put a hand sanitizer in there. And I don't really use this pocket. Sometimes I put receipts in there and things like that, miscellaneous things. But this is not something that I take advantage of on a regular basis. And then the last 2 things that I usually put inside of this is a lip balm, which I've been obsessed with the Glossier lip balms for the past, I want to say 8 months. But this has been coming really in handy, especially with the weather changing. I feel like my lips are getting drier and more cracked, and this has really been a true lip saver. And this is called the Balm.com lip balm, which is Glossier's iconic universal lip balm, and you can use this similar to Vaseline all over your hands, in your cuticles, on your face, on your lips. And it's a lip balm that at this point comes in, I think, nearly 10 different flavors and colors and tints. I have honestly tried, I think, pretty much every single one of them other than the berry one. Some of them are tinted, some of them are not, but even the ones that are tinted really don't show up on the lips. So the rose one, for example, is supposed to have a pinky hue to it, but it's really not visible, especially with the amount that you put on, because you really only need just the tiniest dab of this. It goes such a long way. So if you're someone like me who doesn't wear lipstick or lip gloss and you don't want anything tinted on your lips, you can still use these because they honestly don't show up. I've been using this, the cherry one, the mango one in videos, and no one's ever pointed out that my lips look pink or red or whatever. I'm telling you, with the amount that you need, it's not going to be an actual lip color. I do think that the berry one has a little bit more of a color payoff, so if that's what you're going for, give the berry one a try. But I've been really enjoying this. And I used up, I think, the birthday cake one last winter, which I also love. So I'll make sure to link these down below. So I usually put one of those in there. And then the last thing that I always have in my bag is a fragrance. I love having a fragrance with me. And the one that I have recently rediscovered is the Hermes Amber Nergel, which is the most beautiful fragrance for fall and winter. I would still wear this in the summer, but I think it might be a little bit overwhelming for most people. It's a really warm, comforting, soothing scent. It is quite spicy, but still very warm. It has notes of honey, spices. It's really a beautiful fragrance. And I've actually been thinking about doing a fragrance video for you guys because I don't think I've ever mentioned this, but I did work in the fragrance industry professionally. So if that's something that you guys would want to see from me, then definitely let me know in the comments and I can do a video on my favorite fragrances. Some of them are from Hermes, some of them are not, but do let me know, and that's definitely a video that I can do for you guys in the near future. And this is it. This is everything that I put in here, which I think is actually quite a lot. You wouldn't think that this much would fit into this little insert, but it really fits a lot. And I keep calling it an insert. It's more of an organizer than an insert, but you guys know what I mean. So this is everything that I carry in here, and this is not overstuffed. It definitely feels substantial, but you could definitely put more in here. There is a little bit more space on the side here, so this is not at its capacity. You can definitely fit more in here. And then the one thing that I might not take with me on a regular basis is a larger wallet. So I'm going to remove that and show you guys. If I wanted to just carry a card holder with me, I could put that in there next to the bustier, put my pouch, and then I would have even more space with my face masks in there. So if you have a smaller bag, you might not want to carry such a heavy and substantial wallet with you, in which case this is even going to be more spacious and you can definitely put more things on top. Before you make up your mind and purchase this, please check out my insert video because I do feel I have better alternatives in there for you. But in case you love this, this is everything that you can fit in here. And this is it, guys. This completes today's video on the Hermes Fourbi. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you want to find some better alternatives, in my opinion, then I would recommend that you go ahead and watch my Hermes Bag Insert video, which I will have linked down below. And if you enjoyed this video, then please make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.